The Candy Witch by Steven Kroll, illustrated by Marylin Hafner. I think we just read another Marylin Hafner illustrated book. I have to go back and check. Maggie the Witch lived on a hill near the town of Chester. Everyone in her family liked to cast good spells for people. Mama Witch flew around turning garbage into fruit trees. Brother John changed pillows into purring cats. And Papa Warlock liked giving bald men hair. Maggie liked sticking candy into people's pockets. She liked filling empty refrigerators with food, but no one in her family noticed the things she did. And sometimes, because she was so little, no one noticed her at all. One night at dinner, Mama Witch said, "Maggie, when are you going to start doing good deeds like the rest of us?" "I do good deeds," said Maggie. "You just don't pay attention." "What a thing to say," said Papa Warlock. "Why, of course we pay attention." But that night, when Maggie made David Jennings' flowers bloom, no one noticed. Her mother was singing in the shower, and her father was busy mixing a potion, and her brother was reading a book of magic. "Nuts," said Maggie. "If no one's going to notice when I do something good, I'll have to try to do something else." She waited until the morning of Halloween, and then she flew to Ellen Perkins' house and cast a spell. Ellen turned on the bathroom faucet, and lizards tumbled out everywhere. Maggie flew to Patty Russell's house and changed a dining room chair into a blueberry pie. Patty sat down on the pie, then her mother found a frog in her pocket, and her father's hair turned curly. The coffee pot poured chocolate syrup, and Patty fell over a cow on her way to the school bus. That was crazy. Maggie followed the bus, and when she got to school, she sat on the roof thinking of more mischief. When Diane got up to answer a question, her book fell on the floor. When Myron came to bat during recess, an orange fell out of his ear. And when Eric opened his lunchbox, it was full of mice. He seems pretty okay with that. I think I would freak out if my lunchbox was full of mice.
"Something's weird is going on in this town,"
said Eric. And everyone agreed, especially Bill, whose milk had just turned into a flower. Maggie went home. Her father was busy mixing another potion. Her mother was singing in the garden, and her brother was reading a book about outer space. "Oh, rats," said Maggie. "Nothing's changed." Then she had an idea for that night. As it began to get dark, the children gathered in groups to go trick-or-treating. They were dressed as skeletons, cowboys, gypsies, witches, and pirates. And as they went from house to house, the candy in their trick-or-treat bags grew heavier and heavier. By the time the children got home, their bags were almost too heavy to carry. Sharon Ripley was lugging hers up the stairs when it disappeared. Her brother Philip was putting his under the bed when it disappeared. Patty Russell was showing her candy to her mother when suddenly it was gone, and David Jennings had just spilled his all over the floor. As he went to pick it up, it turned into air. The next morning at school, everyone was talking about the missing trick-or-treat bags. Not a single child in town still had one. Ellen Perkins was angry. David Jennings and some of his friends were crying. On the roof of the principal's house next door, Maggie sat with all the candy. 173 trick-or-treat bags. But then she noticed David Jennings crying in the schoolyard, and Diane Hollander, and Sammy Bow. Maggie began to cry too, and her sobs grew louder and louder. Suddenly, Mama Witch, Papa Warlock, and Brother John appeared. "What's the matter?" asked Mama Witch. "Oh, Mama," said Maggie, "I wanted to make you notice me, and instead I made the children unhappy." Papa Warlock took her in his arms, and Maggie told the story of her day's mischief and the missing trick-or-treat bags. When she was through, Papa Warlock and Mama Witch and Brother John kissed her and said they were sorry. "We'll try and do better in the future," said Papa Warlock. "But what can we do for the children?" asked Brother John. Maggie smiled. "I know," she said. As the children got ready to leave school that afternoon, there was a lot of noise in the yard. A large sign was stuck on the lawn, and the sign said, "Come to the Candy Festival right now. Town Square, Maggie the Witch." "Now we know who stole the trick-or-treat bags," said Ellen Perkins. Uh-oh. The children all raced off to the town square, and the fountain were sprouting lemonade. They were overflowing with Hershey's Kisses, candies, apples, M&Ms, peppermints, caramels, jelly beans, and lemon drops. Over on the town hall roof, Papa Warlock said, "What a terrific party, Maggie." And Mama Witch said, "The fudge was awfully good." Brother John would have said something too, but he had eaten a lot of caramels and was fast asleep. Maggie flew over him and cast one more spell. When Brother John woke up, he'd find candy in his pockets. Good night. I love you.